said Chris Denson was an interesting story. How did you actually find him? Like, wasn't he?
Yeah, so Sorrells brought him to me originally and said, you know, what? And I was like, all right, man. I mean, I'm trying to figure out what I'm missing. I can't. I'm like, okay, he must be 5'8". Like, and so we sent Garrett down there to just kind of go down and put eyes on him. And I think he rushed for 230 yards in the game with not, you know, I mean, not much of a chance in the game. And, I mean, same thing. Garrett just came back and he's like, Coach, I mean, this guy's, I mean, it's really special to watch his tape. And then when you talk to him, you know, and you hear him and who he is as a young man, and you get to know about his family, and, you know, I mean, this kid is, he was going to go to Coastal, and I'm sure Coastal was hoping that nobody ever saw him. But all I can tell you is, you know, the portal, you know, that's the only thing I can say. You know, the portal has lessened a lot of high school kids' opportunity. And that's the only thing I could say why he's under recruited. I mean, this guy is a baller. Fun to watch on tape. But when you get to know him, I mean, a great kid, great student. I mean, I'm like, there's got to be something. But no, there's nothing. So just really excited about him coming in here and filling that spot for us. It's just what we needed.
Marquise Henderson lit it up at Daniel last fall in the playoffs. Was that, I think y'all were on to him a little.
That was one of the last.
Was Mickey Conn at that game?
Yeah, we had a few people there. That was one of the last little check marks on him, you know, and it's just, because, you know, you're like, what is he, right? You know, like, what is he? I mean, he's got his whole future ahead of him. That's our job to figure out what he is. But, man, he's just a football player. I mean, he's just a football player. He can do so many things. He plays way bigger than he is. He's so fast. And I'm just really, really glad we got him. I think there was a lot of opportunity with a guy like him. Similar to Tink, you know, like Tink is a guy that Clemson people don't really know a lot about him yet, but he didn't get to do anything last year. So we're really just in that process with Tink. Tink's a little thicker, maybe not quite as fast, but just as electric and as dynamic. When we're kind of in that process with him and developing him and getting him to the point where we can, you know, make sure we're asking him to do the right things. And man, Quez is the same way. He's whoo. You better get your hands on him. It's gonna be a house call.
Any idea where he might start out at?
We'll probably start him out on the offensive side of the ball and just go from there. You know, that's that. You know, there's a lot of terminology and a lot of things you got to learn on the offensive side. Not that there's not a lot on defense, but corner is a little easier than coming over and learning all the stuff that you got to learn within an offensive system. So we'll probably start him out there. Certainly look at him as a returner as well. And, you know, same thing. He's coming in mid-year, so if he stays healthy, we'll get a good evaluation on him this spring.
With a player like him, is part of the fun that he has that versatility?
Yep. It really is. I mean, it really is. You know, you don't know what he's, you know, y'all remember when we signed DK, it was kind of the same thing. He was a quarterback, and we're like, well, I mean, what is he? And he was a receiver. And then we eventually, you know, we were kind of experimenting with him a little bit at DB, and now he plays in the NFL, you know, as a DB. We eventually got him in the right spot. So sometimes it's a process. It doesn't happen overnight, but, you know, we've had lots of examples. Gage Cervinka, we just signed, you know. We didn't know what Gage, you know, I was like, I just want Gage Cervinka. Well, what did he ended up, you know, and he didn't want any part of the offensive line. We're like, all right, well, I always tell him, what do you want to play? When you, like Ronan, I'm like, what do you want to play? You know, but after a true full year, I'm like, Ronan, your path is defense. And so I wish I'd have done it in the spring, but he was hurt last year, had broken hand, all kind of stuff, and we just didn't really get a full evaluation of him. He wasn't a mid-year. He came in the summer, so we were in the process of that, but we got him in the right spot for sure. You know, you think about Gage, you think about Shatley. He was a linebacker fullback in my first signing class. He just got put back on the Jags. He's on, like, what is he, on year 11 or something like that? But we eventually, you redshirt junior year, he plays guard. We moved him to the offensive line. So it's a process, and sometimes it happens just like that, and other times, TJ Green, he played a year at receiver. I'm like, if you want to play in the NFL, you need to move. And so he was a second-round draft pick. Started 1 year, as a junior. So, I mean, that's part of it. Sometimes people can get impatient, especially in today's world, but if you kind of hang in there, we'll get you where you need to be. But you got to buy into that. But I do think it's important, like whatever they think they are, I think you give them that opportunity. Like Gage, he didn't want to hear anything. Gage moved himself. He eventually got tired of being on the sideline, and he came over and he said, I think I should move to OL. And I said, I think that's a great idea. And he had a great career for us.
When you think about how the transfer portal might factor into this class, is it more since it opens next week, see what attrition looks like and then determine how you might use it from there?
Sure. Yeah, and that's been the case every year. Sure. Like everybody wants us to go to the portal, but I'm going to let y'all call the kids' parents they're going to have to leave. I'll let y'all make that call and tell them that they can no longer be at Clemson. I'm not doing that. I'm just not. So you got to have spots. And y'all know our retention. Everybody thinks, oh, well, this guy left. Well, we most of the time know, and we've already kind of addressed that. So we came out of the spring, like we had one spot, and, we gave it to Chap. So that's where we were. But absolutely, it just depends. If there's something unexpected happen, right now we don't expect any unexpected. But who knows? Who knows? And so, it's a good tool to know that, you can go get a guy if you need it. But when you look at we met for an hour this morning on it, every position, every coach, and then we go from there. So we'll see.
You have more than a few things going on right now, certainly a busy time of year, but why is it so special, such a moment, to take this moment and pause and be able to be excited and embrace this moment of the early signing day and allow your staff to have a moment and be excited about what you guys have done?
Yeah, because it's a culmination of a lot of time, and for us, we're very relationship driven. We don't offer a lot of guys. We're certainly not perfect or anything like that, but it's just a big deal. It's a big deal. It's a huge moment. And again, for me, as the head coach, these kids can go all over. They got lots and lots of great universities and places that they can go and play football. But when they say, that's where I want to be, that's a big deal. It's a big deal. And we don't take that lightly. So I'm just thankful, to the good Lord for those that we get. Because, man, I know that, again, they got a lot of choices. And it's just a blessing. And I also know that it's what we've prayed for, So I just look at it that way. And I love it. And I love the fact that the high school date is earlier so that these kids can get signed. Because, again, I guarantee you there's been a lot of calls, even though the portal hadn't opened yet, there's probably been a lot of calls to some high school kids out there that have been told, hey, we're not going to have a spot for you now. Or maybe we will in February, but we're not. If you want to sign somewhere else, you need to because, hey, there's a kid that's in the portal now that we didn't know. And, so I love the fact that you get a chance for these guys to go ahead and sign. I think that's great. And we're playing in a championship game this week, and it's not been a problem. Most of these kids have been committed for a long time, and there were no surprises today or anything like that.
Do you have an injury update on Logan's? Has the injury?
He did. He had ACL surgery and went well. Did it there in Birmingham, and he's doing well. So good thing he's coming in mid-year too, so we can really pick up the rehab for him and get him ready to go.
You say that most of these departures are expected. As Troy Stellato, did you know
Yep.
that he was going? And I guess that was the rationale. Did you get to speak about one?
He just wants a bigger role. He's just he's a great kid. Y'all know I love the Italian Stallion. He's one of my favorite dudes, man. He loves football. He just wants to be the one or two, and that's just not where he is. He could be, and he has been here or there, but you know, with the guys that we have on the roster and the guys coming back, he just wants a little bigger role. It's not that big a deal. Great kid, and you know, great relationship. Doesn't done anything wrong. Hasn't burned a bridge. I want to try to help him if I can. I hate that he missed basically 2.5 years. We really got about 1.5 years out of him, but that kid made a lot of big plays for us. And but you know, he just wants a bigger role. And with the guys we have on the roster, you know, it's hard. I mean, it is what it is.
Yeah, well, last night you said he felt disrespected at times, didn't like getting, he said, demoted after the Virginia game. Any reaction, I guess, the specifics?
No, I mean, you know, listen, I don't know. I'm not getting involved. Whatever these guys feel, they feel. I can't, you know, it is what it is. But sometimes coaches make decisions and at all levels, and you don't always agree with those decisions. And so, you know, it's just the way it is.
So you won't be with the team this weekend, Troy?
No, he's not with the team. We just go ahead. I'm sorry.
I was gonna say, we've got about 3 more minutes with Coach.
Talk about the commitment of some of these guys. I think Brandon Jacobs, Braden's dad, put out that there were offers up to maybe $1 million that he could have gotten, chose to come here. So what does that say, I guess, about him in terms of his?
Yeah, I mean, he's going to do well here. He's. I mean, he's not going to hit that. You know, that's chapel money right there. He's not going to quite get there, but he's going to do very well. But I think they made the best decision for the long term. And I think, you know, that's a lot of kids make decisions for the short term. And their family said, hey, this is what we want to do. And, again, he's going to do very well. But and he's coming in a great time, a great situation. But, you know, we're just thankful. They believe in who we are. They believe in who we are. There's a lot of people out there, and again, that's not important. That's very important, and it's where we're going. It's going to be a lot easier because right now it's just still no rules. You can do whatever you want to do, you know. But what does year 2 look like? There's going to be a little different conversation going on with a lot of these kids. So, you know, just where he wanted to be. They value education, and structure, accountability, and all of the stuff that we are about as a program, family, and he's a great fit. And so, yeah, he's not going to be struggling, I'll tell you that. And we'll see how it goes this first year.
After watching Shefflin last night, does it make you drool a little more?
Man, 20 rebounds. Unbelievable. Awesome.
I guess just again, a little turnover in this class. Do you have a lot of these guys already like pre-identified months back, or how much is it kind of a quick turnaround for
We do.
some of these guys?
Yeah, we do. Yeah, you talking about the? Yeah, he's a guy that we had been talking to. Matt had his eyes on. I think it was a Caldwell connection, and you know, just a matter if it was going to work out. And so yeah, we always have lots of plans. We've got a whole department, a bunch of people.
All right. Thank you, Coach. Thank you, everybody.
Okay.
Thanks.